Hey everybody, my name is Philip Shepard. I'm a local real estate agent located right here in Northwest Arkansas. And today we're talking about part 2 of Northwest Arkansas and the recession and what that's going to look like. But before we jump into the content, if you could like this video and subscribe, that would make the world of difference. I try to produce as much content as humanly possible about Northwest Arkansas. And so liking and subscribing makes the world of difference. It just makes sure that my content goes in front of the right people at the right time. That could be you. So thanks a lot, guys. I appreciate it. All right, so a little bit of recap. If you haven't seen my first part video, look in my channel, click around, you'll find it. Go to videos and scroll down a little bit, you'll find it right there. But I do have a part 1 that kind of talks about we'll call the exoskeleton, the structure of this upcoming talk. And just about, really just kind of summarizes that a lot of people are moving out of bigger areas and looking for mid-sized areas like Northwest Arkansas and all the things that come with that. And so there's about a 7-minute video on that, so definitely check it out beforehand and then come back to this video. But if you've already done that or you already know about all this stuff, continue on this video. I also want to mention that there will be a part 3 of this video. So I was trying to fit this all into 2 parts. It ain't gonna happen. There ain't too much going on. So there will be a part 3 that will focus specifically on the housing side. So this one will be economic side. First part is just general exoskeleton. Second part is gonna be business, economic stuff. Third part is gonna be housing, so look for that one next. So this video is going to be structured in a very economical sense. I'm not gonna really mention too much about the amazing things about Northwest Arkansas, and there are a ton to talk about. There are so many things to talk about. This is a very high level economic talk about the upcoming recession, assuming upcoming recession, and then also just how Northwest Arkansas is going to wade through that versus other areas in America. So the first part I wanna talk about, and this is key number 1, is that there's so much really good high momentum when it comes to Northwest Arkansas. Not only is Northwest Arkansas growing rapidly when it comes to population, but the fact that there's so many eyes on Northwest Arkansas for the last probably 5 to 10 years. And so all the cities around Northwest Arkansas, Fayetteville, Bentonville, Rogers, Springdale, have invested so much money and energy into this upcoming next 20, 30, 40, 50 years that we're just starting to see the cusp of Northwest Arkansas growth that is just happening now versus what would have been 10 years ago. Because they started the infrastructure system, they started the pathways, they started all these different things that are actually finally coming to fruition now. Say for instance, also we just got done doing a big aviation summit called the Up Summit, which just heavily focused on the future of aviation, that they're really trying to carve out Bentonville as the next actually aviation area, the actual innovation area of aviation. We have so many different biking events here in Northwest Arkansas. We had the World Championships, the World Championships came to Fayetteville, and they actually did all the racing right in this January. We have all sorts of new music festivals that are coming here, plus all the ones that have already been happening for the last couple of years. So these are drawing thousands and thousands and thousands of people to Northwest Arkansas that are coming from out of state, out of America, coming to see the music festivals here. We just got done doing Bike Fest, which drew about 15,000 people to Bentonville area. And so these are all just big events that have been drawing so many people to the area to check out the area. It's not slowing down. We have the university and the sports in Fayetteville. And if anyone's keeping on top of the news when it comes to sports and university, they've been performing so well the last couple of years, specifically the last 2 years, they've been doing so well that they put themselves back on the map multiple times between basketball, baseball, track and field, the whole thing. They are just doing so well at the university that is drawing more people to the university. We have Crystal Bridges, which is kind of funny because you're thinking it's just a museum. It's an art museum in Bentonville, Arkansas. But every time that I go to Crystal Bridges, I meet so many people come from across America. Last time I was just there, I was outside of Crystal Bridges. I met these people that flew in from California, and they were just they were actually museum hopping all across America, and one of the stops on the list of the itinerary was Crystal Bridges. And so they were thinking about actually moving from California to Northwest Arkansas. Who'd have thought? It has so much influence across America that people come here just for that. And we have affordability. So every time you type in, Northwest Arkansas or Fayetteville specifically, Fayetteville is going to make some of the top lists when it comes to affordability around all of America. So that doesn't hurt it at all. Obviously, it's one of the most affordable places to live in America. And on top of that, there's the Heartland Summit, which is a brand new summit that kind of gets together all sorts of we'll talk high influence people, whether in politics or other sorts of high organizations. They come together in Bentonville, Arkansas, and they basically talk about how they're going to make the Heartland, this whole area, a place of commerce, business, a bigger place of commerce and business over the next 10 years. So structures, roads, investments, all sorts of different things that are happening in the Heartland Summit. And these are people that have major influence, whether it comes to investment funds. Louisiana's governor was here. Obviously, the governor of Arkansas was there. Oklahoma was here. So all these different like states that are coming here to make Arkansas, like the heartland, actually a major place to do business and continue to do business. And they're trying to grow it exponentially the next couple of years. And that's just like a little tidbit of what's happened in Northwest Arkansas. And these are just kind of framing your idea of like if there is a recession, and there probably will be, is that why Northwest Arkansas is just have so much momentum behind it, which leads into number 2, which is the quality of life here is just nothing to compare to when it comes to other parts of America. Between jobs and housing, of activities, things to do, community, the quality of life here is just astounding, because not only can you do things outside all year long, you have a great community, you have people coming across all America looking for the same things you are, kind of a fresh start in some sense, trying to get their feet under themselves, coming from larger cities or places where they just can't get ahead in life. And so people are coming here to get ahead in life because everything's so affordable here, and there's jobs abound, there's things to do, there's so many communities, there's so many things going on in Northwest Arkansas that there are so many people moving here for those reasons, and you'll feel right at home. So when it comes to quality of life, I am going to skip a lot of those things when it comes to the trail systems, and it comes to the outdoor stuff and the indoor stuff and the libraries and the really cool things and the events and blah, blah, blah. There's so many things going on. I have so many videos about those things. I could sit here and talk forever about the quality of life here. And so we're going to go on to number 3, which is the fact that, and this is going back to the more like ground level, essential business kind of things like economic stuff, but our startups here are really based in essentials. And we're going to talk a little bit more about this in like a couple points ahead of time, but our startups here are based in essentials. Meaning, when we're thinking about San Fran, we're thinking about these major cities, there's a lot of startups that have like a lot of employees that are just kind of, we'll say, potential growth. You never know, like they're kind of like moonshots to some extent. For instance, like crypto.com, which, had a big thing because cryptocurrency is a big deal, and we all know those things, but they grew too fast and they had to let go hundreds of employees out of San Fran. And they said, like, we literally grew too fast. And so these are kind of fringe businesses in other major areas and major cities that are going to feel the recession the hardest because they're not really essential businesses. A counterexample is the fact that a good example of a startup here in Northwest Arkansas is called Freight 8. So Freight 8 is is a startup trying to solve the problem of doing relaying of shipments from, like, let's say Northwest Arkansas to Kansas City. And instead of a truck driver driving from, like, let's say 8 hours a day or 10 hours a day from point 1 to point 2, and then they sleep, what they're trying to do is do a relay system from here to Kansas, and then Kansas to Iowa City to Chicago. So they're trying to do this massive relay system based on the blockchain and based on different algorithms, so that obviously we can speed up transportation and we don't have to necessarily wait, when a truck driver, sleeps for 8 hours, we can just keep the actual chain going. And so that's a startup based in actual essentials, because we always need transportation, we always need food, we always need medical, we always need health. There's these essential things that are just core, even that are recession proof, that'll never go away because people always need these things. We always need housing. And so a lot of our startups here are based in those things, not some kind of far off distance idea that potentially could happen. Our startups here are based in ground essentials, whether it's medical, housing, food, things that will just last forever and will always be needed. That reminds me. I have a 3-day itinerary. So maybe you're thinking about coming down to Northwest Arkansas. Maybe you're trying to think to avoid a recession potentially. Download my 3-day itinerary link below. Maybe you're an adventurer. Maybe you're a sports person. Maybe you're a sightseer. Maybe you're a foodie. Maybe you're into art and culture. There's a 3-day itinerary link below for you. And also, when you do come down here, definitely give me a call, because we can check out some homes for sale or for rent and see how far your dollar will go in Northwest Arkansas compared to where you're coming from. Speaking on essentials, our major 3 businesses here, which are Walmart, Tyson, and JB Hunt, obviously some of the 3 biggest companies in the world, are all based in essentials. Walmart, brick and mortar, obviously e-commerce, the whole thing. Tyson, which is food, obviously, and all their other side brands. Tyson isn't just chicken; it owns a lot of different side brands as well. And JB Hunt, transportation. All 3 of those things will never go away. And on top of that, with Walmart, one thing that's funny with Walmart, and I did mention this in the other video, is the fact that when money gets tight, you go to the place that has the most affordability overall, which is usually Aldi and Walmart. And fifthly, the university is drawing so much more attention to Northwest Arkansas than ever before. Whether it's, the research facilities for our medical side, whether it's actually, getting your full medical degree here, whether it's wanting to actually become like a lawyer through here, like an attorney, there are so many opportunities in Northwest Arkansas that when it comes to academic side, like even let's put the sports side on pause for a minute, but the academic side is doing fantastic. There are so many people coming here for affordable education, and they're getting a great education as well. The university keeps getting more and more patents. They keep getting more recognition for the things that are doing here in Northwest Arkansas, We obviously have a children's hospital. We have a large veterans hospital. We have a major hospital just in Fayetteville as well, plus all the other hospitals across, Northwest Arkansas. But there are so many ways and places for people to go to the university and get really good education, whether it's the Walton Business School, which is attached to the university. So if you're looking to get a business degree, they have a full Walton education system built into the university. And obviously, Walmart's doing pretty well for itself, so I would definitely look into the Walton Business School for anything. So academically, university is doing quite well. And on top of that, the sports side, oh my gosh, like the sports is just getting so much more national attention the last couple of years than ever before, which is bringing more enrollment, which is bringing more people, which is bringing more talent, which is bringing more investment. And so the sports is just a big boom to the area as well, because obviously it's putting people on the map. And so between sports and academic, the university brings so many extra people to Northwest Arkansas than ever before. And last, but certainly not least, this is kind of like the cherry on top. This kind of summarizes everything. But the population currently in Northwest Arkansas sits at 500,000 people. It is projected, and it makes sense why, the population is going to double to 1 million people in less than 10 years. And I think if the recession does come, I think it's going to happen faster. And the reason being is because, and this kind of summarizes everything, is that when a recession does come, people are going to be leaving major cities. People are going to be looking to get ahead in life. People are looking to raise their families. People are looking to go to college. People are looking to balance the outdoors, indoors, enjoy everything, make a good community. And you're not going to necessarily find that in large cities. You're not going to necessarily find that in cities that are against businesses. You're not going to necessarily find that in areas that don't want any more help. Arkansas is the natural state. It's the state where you can belong, where you can be, and you can find exactly what you're looking for right here. And so there's a lot of things happening in Northwest Arkansas. The momentum is, I would say, just continuing to go up like exponentially. And I think the recession is actually going to bring it even higher because there's going to be so many people moving here from these large areas. All right, that's all I have for you guys today. Appreciate you guys watching. Again, if you are thinking about moving down to Northwest Arkansas, download my 3-day itinerary link below. Maybe you're an adventurer, maybe you're a sports person, maybe you're into food, maybe you're into sightseeing. Definitely download my 3-day itinerary link below because there's so much to do down here. The 3-day itinerary will help so much. And also, when you do come down here, we will definitely check out some homes for sale or for rent and see how far your dollar will go in Northwest Arkansas compared to where you're coming from. All right, guys, I'll see you in the next one.